having a good week so far. Well, as you can probably tell from the tone of my voice, today we're going to be looking at the first episode of the Sixth Doctor era, The Twin Dilemma. Oh joy, I am so happy to be reviewing this episode. Whoop-de-doo. Don't worry, my disposition will definitely change as we move further with this particular era. So, with that out of the way, let's review The Twin Dilemma. Whoopee! After his regeneration, the Sixth Doctor starts behaving erratically. He goes to the wardrobe looking for a new outfit and finds a glaring, mismatched, brightly colored coat to which he immediately takes a shine. Perry tells him that he could not go outside wearing such an awful garb, to which the Doctor takes offense. Two twins, Romulus and Remus Sylvester, receive a visitation from a mysterious old man called Professor Edgeworth. They question how he managed to get inside their house. He tells them he will return when their father is here, then proceeds to abduct them and the trio disappear. They arrive on a spaceship in deep space. Edgeworth then communicates with his superior, a slug-like creature called Mestor, who instructs Edgeworth to take the twins to Titan III. In the console room, the Doctor has a funny turn, quoting a poem about a Peri, a good and beautiful fairy in Persian mythology, but one which used to be evil. The Doctor accuses her of being evil and of being an alien spy before rushing toward her and throttling her, or in other words, nearly strangling her to death. Urgh! He catches a sight of his own manic face in a mirror and collapses in a heap, releasing Peri. When she tells him that he tried to kill her, he initially denies he could be capable of such an act, but seeing how terrified of him she is, he decides he must become a hermit in the desolate asteroid of Titan III. The twins' father contacts the authorities. He found Xanium in their room, a sure sign of intergalactic kidnap. A Commander Lang begins the pursuit and soon finds a suspicious ship previously reported missing. He tries to contact it, but it enters warp drive, something that class of ship is not designed to do. Okay, why is it not designed to do that? Seriously. On Titan III, the Doctor and Perry hear the crash landing of a craft. Examining its wreckage, they find the concussed body of Commander Lang. They take him back to the TARDIS, where he reveals his whole squadron has been destroyed. Believing the Doctor to be responsible, he points his gun at the Doctor and threatens to kill him. Perry pleads with Lang, telling him that the Doctor had in fact saved him, but he faints away. The Doctor is not keen to treat Lang, or concerned for his own life, but eventually agrees to Perry's persuasion. Edgeworth argues with Romulus and Remus, making them do Mestor's work. He scolds them for setting up a distress signal, so they are not allowed to use electronic equipment to solve the equation they have been set. An image of Mestor appears and gives the twins a more blunt threat: work for him or have their minds destroyed. On the TARDIS scanner, the Doctor and Perry see a building, something which has no place on an uninhabited asteroid. Leaving Lang behind, they find a tunnel which may lead to the building, but on exploring find two aliens wielding guns. The Doctor cowers in fear and pleads with them not to shoot him. They are let off and brought before Edgeworth. The Doctor claims to be a pilgrim to Titan III, but Noma, one of the aliens, says they are spies and should be shot. The Doctor recognizes Edgeworth as an old friend, Asmael, Master Gioconda, whom he last saw 2 incarnations ago. When the Doctor sees Romulus and Remus and discovers Asmael who has abducted them, he is disgusted. Asmael teleports away with the twins and the aliens, leaving the Doctor and Perry locked in the building. The Doctor starts to break the lock's combination, because it would be a lot more easier if he still had a sonic screwdriver, but Perry discovers Noma has set the base to self-destruct. The Doctor improvises a solution to teleport them back to the TARDIS. Perry makes a successful return, but the Doctor has not appeared when she sees the base explode on the scanner. Oh joy! Oh no, the Doctor's never returned. Will he make it back or not? A glimpse of the Doctor is seen appearing in the TARDIS. He was delayed returning because he was using Perry's watch to synchronize their arrival, but the watch had stopped. How? The Doctor is surprised at Perry's compassion when she thought he had died. Yeah, I'm surprised too, considering considering that, oh yeah, he almost killed you. Ugh. On Gioconda, Mr. is seen putting one of the warlike Giocondans to death for a petty offense. Soon, the TARDIS arrives, but instead of the expected beautiful planet the Doctor is expecting, he, Perry, and Lang find a desolate wasteland covered with giant gastropod trails. The Doctor is reluctant to go to the palace, scared for his own life. Why? But is persuaded to take Lang there in the TARDIS. In the palace corridors, they see murals depicting Gioconda's history, but it appears they are now all too real. After avoiding gastropods, Lang gets stuck on their slime trail. Blech. Asriel takes the twins to his laboratory and shows them a storeroom full of gastropod eggs. Mr. arrives and tries to persuade them that his aims are benevolent. Yeah, right. Asriel begs him to stop reading his thoughts and stop Noma watching his every move. He agrees and leaves. Asriel explains to the twins that Mr. usurped him as leader of Gioconda, and now has a plan to draw 2 outlying planets into the same orbit as Gioconda. The twins' genius is required to stabilize those planets in their new orbit. The Doctor, leaving Perry and Lang behind, finds Asmail's lab. At Manifit at peak, he attacks Asmail, but is restrained by Giocondan and the twins. The Doctor apologizes to Asmail, but demands to know what is going on. Meanwhile, Perry is captured by Giocondan guards and brought before Mestor. When Lang escapes to Asmail's lab and informs them what has happened, the Doctor finally shows compassion for her when he thinks she might die. Okay, that's a bit of a turn. Mestor refrains from killing Perry immediately, finding her appearance pleasing. Ugh. Giocondan guards arrive in Asmail's lab and seize the Doctor. The Doctor tells Mestor that he ought to allow him to assist with a dangerous operation moving the planets, as a single mistake could blow a hole in that corner of the universe. Back in the laboratory, Asmail informs the Doctor of the details of the plan to bring the planets into the same orbit. They will be placed in different time zones using time travel technology that Mestor stole from Asmail. The Doctor realizes that, as the other planets are smaller than Gioconda, bringing them closer to Gioconda's sun will lead to catastrophe. The Doctor enters Egg's storeroom and is disturbed that they have no nutritional mucus. He tries to cut one open with a laser cutter. The shell is impenetrable, but the egg reacts slightly to the heat. The Doctor realizes that they have been designed to withstand the heat of an exploding sun. The explosion of the Giocondan sun will scatter the eggs throughout the universe. When they hatch, the gastropods will conquer the universe. Well, we can't have that now, can we? The one remaining Giocondan, Drake, in the lab, collapses dead, his mind burnt out. Mr. had been using him as a monitor, and knows the full details of what has been discussed. Perry, Lang, and the twins return to the TARDIS, whilst the Doctor and Asmail go to confront Mestor. When Mestor refuses to abandon his plans, the Doctor hurls a vial of acid taken from the lab at him, but a force field protects Mestor. Mestor then possesses the Doctor's mind and body, and demonstrates by taking control of Asmail's body. Asmail tells him to destroy Mestor's body before he can return to it, which he does with a further vial. Then Asmail, in his last regeneration, forces himself to regenerate, killing himself, and in doing so destroys Mestor. Dying, Asmail says he has no regrets and that one of his fondest memories was the time spent with the Doctor by a fountain. Okay, I didn't know they had things like that on Gallifrey, but whatever. The Doctor and Perry return to the TARDIS. Lang decides to stay behind on Gioconda to assist with their rebuilding. When Perry tells the Doctor off for being rude, he reminds her that he is an alien, with different values and customs, and that, no matter what else happens, I am the Doctor, whether you like it or not. Yeah, way to tell her the Doc. Whoopee. Anyway, let's look at the production of this episode. The Doctor is unusually violent at the start of this episode, even attempting to strangle Perry. Yeah, we know that. And also, he never even apologized for it. The intention was to create a Doctor that was initially unlikable. Well, good job at that. But gradually reveal a kind-hearted soul, glimpsed in revelation of the Daleks. Oh, really? This was also intended to be contrast to the instantly likable Tom Baker and Peter Davison Doctors. Oh, no kidding! However, in later interviews, Peter Moffat, and yes, that's actually Peter Davison's actual last name, but whatever, said that the original idea was merely to have the Doctor in a much more energetic state, than he was during the Fifth Doctor's debut story, Castrovalva. Okay. Colin Baker said during a 2003 documentary celebrating the series' 40th anniversary that, quote, "The idea was that over the many, many years I would be playing the part, the outer layers would gradually peel away, revealing the kind-hearted soul." Yeah, too bad you didn't actually play the role for many, many years there, buddy. At least one of Stevens' original script featured the Gioconda and gastropods being dropped totally early in the 4th episode without resolution to the plot, with the final battle taking place in another dimension against a being called Aslan, who was controlling Mestor all along. The cat badge worn by the Sixth Doctor on his lapel for this story was handmade and painted by Susie Trevor, and purchased for the program from a specialist badge shop in central London. For each subsequent story, the Doctor was to wear a different cat badge to symbolize that he was a, quote, traveling cat of different walks. Okay. Besides being adjusted for the new Doctor, the opening credits underwent additional modifications with this episode. A prism color effect is added, and the series logo takes on a somewhat bluish hue, which also results in it appearing slightly curved in comparison to the version introduced during Tom Baker's era. The theme music remains the same as that introduced in 1980. Prior to this, the opening sequences of the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Doctor eras had incorporated a still photograph of the lead actor. For the 6th Doctor opening, this was changed using 2 photographs. One of the Doctor with a serious expression, and which changes to a second image showing the Doctor smiling. This limited animation would continue with each opening sequence for the 7th Doctor. Let's take a look at the cast notes. Colin Baker also provides, uncredited, the voice of a Gioconda in Freighter Control Part 3. Dennis Trinnery had previously appeared as Albert C. Richardson in the William Hartnell story The Chase, and as Garman in the Tom Baker story Genesis of the Daleks. Edwin Richfield had previously appeared as Captain Hart along John Pertwee's Doctor in The Sea Devils. Kevin McNally later played Henry in the audio play Spider Shadow. Seymour Green had previously played Hargreaves in The Seeds of Doom. Helen Blatch had earlier been a voice artist in The Deadly Assassin. Now let's take a look at some outside references. Shortly before the Doctor assaults Perry in a paranoid rage, he quotes the line, "One morning Perry at the gate of Eden stood disconsolate," and asks Perry to identify its author. The answer is Thomas More, and his poem Lalla Rookh. The first 2 installments of the BBV Stranger video series appear to borrow from the premise of the Doctor's desire to become a hermit to atone for mistakes he has made. Since the Stranger is played by Colin Baker and his companion, Miss Brown, is played by Nicola Bryant, it is often viewed as a what-if scenario, despite the fact that the BBV production could not legally use the Doctor Who characters. Well, that's interesting. So overall, I say this is a pretty bad episode. It's just one of the worst of the worst of the worst, and I hate it. So, overall, I give the Twin Dilemma 0 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. That's right, I give it nothing. So there. Anyway, well, join me next week as we take a look at Attack of the Cybermen, which I really do hope is going to be a hell of a lot better than this piece of crap. So, until then, this is Sylvian Queen saying, "Oh my Gideon! When I say run, run! I have a versatility of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly, baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo!" Bow ties are cool, fences are cool, and Stetsons are cool.